Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Welcome to October 14th through the 31st general messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So to get your crowning energy, I'm going to be using the Black Moon Tarot. Your general messages, I'm going to be using the Illuminated Rider-Waite Tarot. And for any qualifying energies that I need, I'm going to be using this very super cute Halloween tarot in honor of Halloween, which we're going to be celebrating here in the States at the end of the month on the 31st, which is when Mercury is going retrograde at 27 degrees Scorpio on that day. So let's pull a crowning energy for you first. And we'll work in what's going on in the sky throughout the reading. I hope you guys are doing really great. Getting ready for lots of wacky energy that's coming up this month. Everybody's talking about it on YouTube. Let's see if we can gain some clarity. I'm thinking I might actually, if I have time, I'm going to do a separate spread as like a bonus spread for this weekend. Just because we have a lot of energies coming up this weekend going into like the 12th and 13th, right before this period, because this is going to be starting on the 14th. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, 10th house, the world. Okay, good, I like that. Cool. Okay, this is a, the world card is all about, like, this is the card of ambition, so it's about owning the world and being on top of the world, right? It's the best card to get if you're in need of feeling confident in what you're doing and really going for what you want. This is a great supporting energy because this 10th house is the house of Capricorn. So this indicates that you're about to really put forth a diligent, very diligent, concerted effort in something, into something. This could be a job, this could be a relationship, this could be your schoolwork, some sort of project that you have. But the climb and the advancement of your reputation is what the 10th house card means, though, okay, when this turns up. So this is more of a big picture energy, though, too, Aquarius. And you know, understand that because it's Capricorn, it's 10th house, it's ruled by Saturn. So you're definitely going to be required to tell the truth or to become honest. And the honesty is going to have a great bearing on how things end up rolling out for you. Layers of illusion are going to be removed in this energy also, which I like. Your essential self is disclosed in this energy. So this could be in relation to the public or possible love interest. And if it's a love interest, for many of you, they could be older or more established, or they'll work beside you in some way to help you meet your goals, for sure. But this energy really suggests for you to kind of play along with the status quo right now to get ahead. It could be kind of a space where, for lack of a better term, like you're paying your dues, you feel like you're paying your dues. So maybe you're finishing up a degree, or you're in school, or you're doing some sort of apprenticeship. You know, something like that is what I'm getting. But this really is going to be pushing you to see how high you can really go in this lifetime. And I love this for you. This is extremely positive and very supportive. But I want to say, really, again, truth and honesty are going to decide the ultimate outcome of this. You know, the universe is supporting you now. But Saturn always requires the truth every step of the way. So let's see what we have now for your general energies, Aquarius. So I'm going to pull one for you and one for the person or situation that you're dealing with. And this is going to be in your past. This is going to be in your present. This is going to be your mindset right now. And these are going to be some fears that you and this person or situation are dealing with. This is the first time I'm filming on my phone, Aquarius, so I don't know if the quality is weird, if the volume, some people are saying the volume's too low, some it's too high. I'm really trying to get it right, only because the camera that I own, the Nikon, it's a great camera, but it cuts out at 30 minutes. And sometimes I feel like I need like 40 minutes, you know? So I'm giving this a go. Let me know how the quality is. Hopefully it's okay. So let's get right into your past energy, Aquarius. So we have that in the past you were in a 3 of Wands space, which is you were really trying to figure out where your life is going. in a very hardcore way. This was you sitting down like for real and figuring out where you see your path going, what you're going to do for work, where you want to live, who you want to be with, who no longer belongs in your life. And 3 is the card of building, right? It's the card of the Trinity. So this is you really stepping into that next space in your life and you feeling very ready to do that. This is very much where you were in your past. But you were dealing with somebody in your life or in your situation. This could be a coworker, a boss, family member, a partner, where there was a lot of fighting going on and no one was winning. So on the one hand, you knew exactly what you saw for yourself, Aquarius, and you knew exactly where you wanted to go, but you were getting this sort of pushback, flat out arguments, just somebody who is just not being agreeable and not being completely honest with you about things. Okay, I get there's this feeling of, even through the arguments, many of the arguments had to do with because not all the truth was coming out, not all the information was being shared, or somebody was just being flat out dishonest with you. And your reaction to that right now in the present is the Chariot reverse. Now, there are a couple of interpretations of this. It's the Cancer energy, by the way. Some of you might be dealing with a Cancer or have Cancer in your chart. But the Chariot reverse is basically somebody who is, for the time, off track. Now, this can be recklessly, right? Where by choice they're just, trying to deal with maybe the emotional disappointment of this past situation. And, they could be partying a lot, just reckless behavior. Just think about somebody who kind of like goes off the road and into the bushes kind of thing. Now, you can literally be doing this, right? Some of you might be self-medicating or doing something like that, or just spending too much money. Or this could just simply be in your mind. You feel like up to this point, where you've had your compass set in your life is changing. And you feel like up to now, you feel like you got some bad advice, or you're getting some bad advice, or you're listening to somebody who doesn't know you in the way that they claim they know you. They can't be trusted in the way that you think you can trust them. There's just, or even if they're very trustworthy, they're not completely getting you and getting your ideas and what you're looking for. And they're trying to impose their belief system onto you, and it's really not jiving with you. So I'm getting, though, this feeling that for whatever reason, any of those many reasons, or maybe you were in a job and you're realizing, oh my God, I'm so invested in this job, but I really don't see myself continuing my life in this. Or I'm so invested in this career on this track, I can't see myself continuing in this. Or you're living in a place where you can't see yourself continuing living there. Anything like that, where you just feel pulled off track. You definitely feel pulled off track. Now, you're dealing with a person who is the Hermit. So maybe some of you are dealing with a Virgo energy, but regardless, definitely somebody who's pensive. There's this requirement to climb inside this mental space to really take a very clear picture of everything, right? But it's very funny what I'm getting here, though, too, is because the Hermit energy is also about seeking counsel, but within oneself more than anything, kind of asking people for their advice or their perspective. So I feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with, they're feeling very pensive about your situation and trying to figure out how to navigate things with you. Trying to figure out the next step. They know that you don't feel like you're on the right path in your life. They know that you want to make some choices. Or they know at least that you're starting a new path, and they're trying to figure out how to best be there for you, right? But there's definitely this pensivity about it. And I definitely get this, too, with the Chariot reversed. Because there's this, I'm definitely getting that you guys just don't feel like you're on the right path 100% for yourself. Just being on the wrong path, and the person or situation that you're involved with, they totally feel this. Even if you're not directly communicating it to them, they feel it, and they're trying to figure out how to best help you. They're trying to figure out their place in all of it, because I'm getting that you're not communicating with them in the best way. I really do feel like that. Now, the Seven of Swords is the card of thievery. Okay, so what this is telling me, and I don't like getting this here. Now, this is in the head space, right? Thievery and the Two of Cups energy reversed in the head space together tells me, Aquarius, that someone is manipulating you in one way or another, in one part of your life or another. The Seven of Swords, when we're talking about in a mental space, it is the card, like I said, of thievery. What are swords? They're thoughts. Someone coming in and trying to steal your thoughts. And I always say it's like bastardizing your thoughts, where they're gaslighting. So this is typically like, you get like gaslighting, somebody coming in and saying, no, I didn't say that, or I didn't mean it like that. I don't know why you say things like that, and I don't know where you're coming up with this. And I'm getting, you're in this headspace right now of feeling so misunderstood in your life right now on a global scale. This is not in, I'm not getting any, you know, I'm not even getting, Aquarius, I have to tell you that it's any one specific thing, though it may be, because this is a general reading. Take the messages that fit and throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit. But I'm getting that generally in life, you're feeling generally misunderstood in some way or another. Like someone is coming in and just stealing your thoughts in a way, and they're trying to change your thoughts in a way, and that's making you feel very misunderstood. And that's the headspace you're in. The person or situation that you're dealing with right now feels that they're feeling right now that they're not able to share with you and be as open with you as they would like to be. I'm getting that this is somebody who really wants to communicate with you, Aquarius, but for some reason you are just not, I'm feeling very open to it. I'm going to pull some cards on that. But let's talk about your fears. So your fear is the Knight of Pentacles. This is telling me that you're afraid of connection beyond a certain point. And I'm feeling like, okay, Aquarius, I'm getting that you feel like you're just not where you want to be in your life. So you feel like you can't fully commit to any one thing because you're not 100% comfortable inside your own skin right now. It's like, I feel like you've had a lot of, I want to say false starts, but I don't really even mean that. Like you trying this and then, you know, some time passing and you realize, no, that doesn't feel right. And trying that, and no, that doesn't really feel right. And then trying this and trying that. And it's this not feeling 100% in your own skin. So the fear here is I'm getting that you want to connect, but you just don't feel fully ready to. And this is a fear that you have because look what we have here. Your partner, their fear, or this situation that you're dealing with, this could be a business partner, this could be a friend, is the Magician reverse. Magician reverse is the trickster energy. This is somebody who is a master manipulator, who is not going to make things happen. And there's not even like a lot of malice involved in this. It's just like things aren't happening. So I get that your partner or the situation you're dealing with, when they think of you as somebody where things are ultimately not going to end up happening to full fruition in the way that they're looking for right now. And this is very disappointing to them is what I'm getting. But I feel like I need more information on these. The mindset and the fear of what's happening here. I want more information about this Chariot reverse. I just want another row of cards, please. Another row of cards, Spirit. Another row of cards for Aquarius. I'm going to use the Halloween Tarot, guys. Okay, let me just cut. Because I had them on my T-bone. Okay, 9 of Pumpkins. Okay. Magician. 2 of Pumpkins. 4 of Ghosts. Reverse. Okay. All right, so let's get into these. So in the past, yeah, you were looking forward into the horizon with a lot of positivity. The Nine of Pumpkins is the Nine of Pentacles energy. This is about attainment. This is about identifying that you were actually going to have what you were dreaming about and what you wanted, right? But I'm getting that you were dealing with somebody who, Aquarius, somebody who's very, very strong. All right, you might have been dealing with a Leo, but somebody who, you know, strength is a wonderful thing unless it's not, right? Unless it's like through the ego. And it's someone who can tend to overstep their boundaries and be very ego driven. But I'm getting in a way where they didn't even realize what they were doing. I feel like you guys were just not on the same page. And they were really wanting to put their foot down about how they saw life moving forward. Okay? They want this new beginning with you because look at what they have. Page of Pumpkins. This is a Page of Pentacles. It's an immature energy, but it's a beautiful energy because it shows a willingness to start a new phase with you, to start this new thing. And I love having this with the Hermit energy because they're thinking about how to make this Page of Pentacles energy happen. Remember what Pentacles are, all right? Or in this deck, it's pumpkins. It's money, yeah, it's resources, but it's also mental, emotional, and physical connection. It is how we do relationships. It's how we connect to one another. And what I get with the Hermit and this is very clearly this person or the situation is acknowledging that you guys weren't seeing eye to eye in the past, but that they wanted to have this new chapter with you. And you very much wanted to make it happen. Very much. With the Magician, you are looking to make it happen right now. Aquarius, but why is it that you feel like you're not on the right path in your life? You have to figure that out. You don't have to be on the wrong path in every aspect of your life. You could be in a great relationship, but just in a job that's no longer speaking to you. Or your job is okay and it could be your relationship, right? Or maybe you're just, hanging out with a group of friends that you're just feeling like, oh my God, I totally outgrew these people. What am I doing? And every other aspect of your life is okay, all right? But in your headspace, we go from this you feeling really, really misunderstood, and then we have the Two of Pumpkins or the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, these two go together perfectly. The Two of Pumpkins reverse indicates where you feel very confused about information that somebody is giving you right now. And you're trying to figure out which path to go on, which, job to take, which path in this relationship, fill in the blank. That's a general reading. But when we have the Pentacles reversed, what this tells me is that you feel a sense of lack in the area of support. And you're having a really hard time navigating that feeling in your mind. Now, they went from having this Two of Cups. Some deeper information here is the Seven of Imps, which is the Seven of Wands reverse. Okay, so this is telling me that, someone is, just feeling this inability to, how do I say this? Because the Seven of Wands upright is about owning the land and feeling strong to move forward. And in the reverse, there's not only a delay in moving forward, there's almost a manipulative nature about it. But I'm getting it's because this person or situation, I don't even get that there's malice here, Aquarius. I get that they just so badly see something looking a certain way and they really want it. And you might be feeling a little disrespected in how they're presenting their wants and their needs right now, okay? And then as far as the fear goes, we started with this Knight of Pentacles, right? Your fear of being able to be supportive, of providing, of all of this. And then on the top of it, I'm getting that some of you might be feeling, you know what? I'm afraid if I get into this or if I continue with this, what happens if I end up feeling bored? Or what happens if they end up not being everything that I think they are? Or what if it doesn't succeed? And what if, because the Four of Ghosts it's the Four of Cups. In the upright, right, that's my checklist card. They have to have A, they have to have B, and they have to have C if I'm going to do A, B, and C with them. And really, underneath all of that is fear, and it's insecurity. Okay? And in the reverse, this is very mental. This is very much in your headspace. Very, very much in your headspace, which fears always are. That's the difference between a fear and a real blockage, which we're going to talk about next, okay? So I do get that these fears, I have to tell you, I just don't feel like they're very substantiated. I don't, but you don't like how your partner is handling this, because then we have the Eight of Imps in their fear, which is the Eight of Wands, which is about, somebody kind of working so hard, going through the battle, right? They got that bandage on their head. If you remember, like the Rider-Waite, the typical Eight of Wands energy, in the Rider-Waite deck, he's got the bandage on his head. It looks like he's been through a fight and he's ready to just, build and move forward, And I feel like you're with somebody who really wants to turn this Magician card upside down. But I feel like, they're being a little manipulative. They're getting some bad advice from some friends or some family members or from somebody, and they really want to very aggressively move forward with you. But it's their fear is that it's not going to happen. They're fearing that it's not going to happen. And I feel like, listen, we really need to have some solid communication going on here. I want to just talk about a couple of the transits before we sweep this. On October 14th, the first day of this time period that we're covering, we do have Sun in Libra square Pluto and Capricorn. And that's all about insecure power struggles, guys. Very likely in that transit. So you really want to get in touch with, there's a way circumventing that, right? This is not to scare you. You really want to get in touch with a way you feel vulnerable in a way that might be clouding how you see this person or situation, or any situation in your life for that matter, right? Or you may be on the receiving end of this, but you want to have very careful and honest evaluation, of the issue at hand right now, okay? So that's the 14th. And then going into the 15th, we have Mercury in Scorpio trine Neptune and Pisces, all right? And that's your creativity is going to be high that day, but you just don't be surprised if you find yourself questioning your everyday, your 9 to 5, your, what the hell am I doing in my life? And that makes a lot of sense to me, right? Considering what we just got for you. You're going to be pushed to make changes. And then on the 19th, we have Mercury in Scorpio, sextile Pluto and Capricorn. That's all about deep conversations and necessary breakthroughs. And that's what I feel like you guys really, really need. If something has to be said, it's going to be said. It's going to be said. So there's going to be a strong element to persuasion here. It's going to be stronger than usual. Very strong now, and conversations from the past are going to be circling back around to bring much greater results in this energy. So the energy is going to be supporting good communication. Sextiles are good. When the planets have sex, it's good for us. It helps us connect, right? And then on the 20th, we have Venus in Scorpio, sextile Saturn in Capricorn, and this energy really supports great collaborations, negotiations, and relationships of all kinds. Solutions are going to just come out of nowhere, which is awesome, but you guys have to start that conversation. So I do like these couple of days. And the 21st, we have Venus in Scorpio, trine Neptune and Pisces. I do like that. This energy can definitely amp up romance and emotions for those of you in relationships and in that space. And don't be surprised if sex is a little different, if it's going to be different, it's going to feel different during this aspect. It's going to bring deepening, transitioning, into a deepening or out of a relationship as well, where, you're with the person and you're like, oh, you know what, things just don't feel right, something's off, But you guys are going to be talking about that. You're definitely going to be talking about that. And if you're not in that space, either in your relationship or you're not in a relationship at all, you're definitely going to start to feel the elements within your other relationships, like your friends and your family and your colleagues and stuff, definitely changing during this energy. Interesting. Okay. So these are your blockages and these are your outcomes. So the blockage for you is the Three of Wands. This is you. I feel like this is you being nostalgic, Aquarius, about something, because this is what I got in your past energy. So this is you reflecting on what you thought was going to be and realizing that the picture you had in your mind is not actually what's coming to fruition in reality, and you're having a very hard time dealing with this. This is happening for real, in real time, and you're having a very hard time processing it. The person or situation that you're dealing with is the Hangman reverse. And the Hangman reverse is all about looking at the panoramic picture, okay? And they have themselves stuck in something in the past as well. And the thing is, they have themselves stuck in a space in their own mind when they reflect on the past, where they're trying to make excuses for things, but in the end, they're in their mind, they're feeling like they're going to ultimately end up being the victim within a situation or a circumstance. okay? And this is blocking them. This fear of them being made victim because of how they really perceived things in your relationship. And I'm getting that it's because certain things were not properly communicated. All right. Another block for you is the Four of Swords reverse. So this is just telling me that you don't know the framework of a reality on how to move forward. Because in the upright, the Four of Swords is about, he's come back from war, he's hanging out on top of his success, his coffin after a successful battle, and he's feeling very grateful for all of his battles won, and he's thinking about what his next step is going to be. I mean, there's something so grateful about this energy and focused on moving forward, and there's a beauty to it, right? In the reverse, it's this confusion about what you've been through, where do I go now? And that's blocking you. This is like real confusion, but I feel like it's because in real time, you and your partner or the situation, there is not this good communication going on. Yeah, and their block is the Ten of Wands reverse. They're like, the hardest part is over for them, but on some level, very deep emotionally, they felt like they were carrying a load that they can't carry anymore. Now, this could be where this person you were dealing with was working really crazy hours, or they were pulled in 12 directions, and their hours at work and all of this stuff, it's literally blocking their ability to actually see you, to actually work on the relationship. Crazy workload from school, you know what I mean? Anything like that. This is like, in the upright, it's the card of the multitasker. It's like all these things on my plate. And it's also carrying a lot internally and emotionally as well. So I do like the reverse better with this, because it does show me that they've passed the worst part of it. And I like that, because if communication is going to happen, you have to be past that high point, right? Because that's a very depleting card. The Ten of Wands is a very depleting card. In the upright, it's like, oh my God, I got to put these things down. I can't do it anymore, First card for your outcome is Ten of Pentacles. You look at your outcome, Aquarius. 10 of Pentacles in the world. Like, really? You can't get more positive than that. But I'm going to pull some cards to get a little story for myself about what happened here. 10 of Pentacles is about having everything you need. You have your resources in real time. You're feeling connected. You're feeling supported in every way that you need to be supported. You feel like you can be supportive of your partner or of the situation. You just have a fresh perspective here. I feel like you have a very fresh perspective, and it's bringing you to the world. To the world. I mean, that's incredible. Though you can't, it's the most positive card in the deck. The world contains all of the tarot in it, right? So it's like, you name it, that's what's going to end up happening. Obviously not all at once. The energy doesn't work like that. But what this indicates to me, because we're in a very, very karmic season, Aquarius, you have to understand this is a very karmic month, especially when it comes to relationships, because of all the Libra energy with the Scorpio energy. What is Libra? Is all about relationships. Scorpio is all about death and transformation, digging deep, bringing it up from the bottom and looking at it, and really transforming energies. Throw some Mars in there, throw some Pluto in there for good measure. Things are going to get discussed, right? But I get that. And what happens here, guys, you have to understand, like, I don't want to get too deep here, but we are in a portal where, like, the door is literally about to close. It's literally about to close the end of this month, okay? And we're not going to see energies like this in our lifetime again, okay? So seeds are going to be planted during this energy that we're in right now. That's definitely going to end up changing the trajectory of our life. So and I'm saying this because, for example, let's say you just started a job, or you're still in school, or you just met this person. You're not going to have the world overnight, but you're on the right path. And I like that, considering as an outcome, especially because got so many energies early on that you felt like you weren't on the right path, okay? You feel good about it. You feel really good about where you're going. But I want you to see, we have the Emperor reverse and we have the Death reverse for this person or situation. So let's talk a bit about this as a person first, and then as a different type of situation. Let's create a couple of narratives. If this is having to do with a person, this tells me that you are dealing with somebody who has, and I'm very careful to say this, but the Emperor reverse in tarot is the card of the narcissist, or let's soften that up a little bit, at least narcissistic tendencies. This is the gaslighter. This is the person who, lots of projection, just absolute lack of empathy, disrespect, okay? This is telling me that, you know what, they got into this space where in their mind they were the victim, very typical with narcissistic personality disorder, definitely, where they feel like they're overwhelmed and they deserve better and they can't handle it anymore. So they feel very justified, because people with these tendencies, they'll like cheat, or they'll abuse money, or they'll party and just be very irresponsible and feel 100% justified and blame you for it. But what's ultimately happening here is there is a cycle ending. Now, again, this doesn't have to be where they have MPD according to the DSM, but it's definitely indicative of somebody who's really quite selfish and who really is not on the same page with you as far as understanding. Now, the Death reverse card, I like the Death card because the Death ends cycles that need to end. And what I like about the Pope and the Sun on here is that it indicates new beginnings, but in the reverse, this does indicate more of a definitive ending, because there's lots of fighting here. There is lots of fighting. And Aquarius, it's like the communication. This is the thing. If you're dealing with somebody who's not 100% on the same page with you, there's no way you guys are going to last through this energy. That is the simple truth of it all. I'm so sorry if this is uncomfortable for you to hear, but that is the truth. The Death card is about the ending of a cycle, but it's a reincarnation card. Now, there might be a lot of fights in this energy, and I'm going to tell you why. And I don't want you to get too thrown off track with it, right? Because whenever we're dealing with Mars, and we are on October 27th, we have a new moon of 4 degrees of Scorpio, and Mars in Libra, Mars in relationships, square Saturn in Capricorn. So even though this new moon carries a lot of potential for new chapters in relationships, which we're dealing with here, the concurrent aspect with Mars and Saturn increases the likelihood of major fights and obstacles and frustrations and just like mudslinging at each other, for sure. So, I'm getting here that you're going to have an argument here about this, because like you're in this mind space and then they're pulling this stuff. So let's see, let's get some more information here. Let's look at the Halloween. I want some information on this Emperor reverse energy, please. Emperor reverse energy, please. Emperor reverse energy. Seven of Cups. All right, you know what? Kind of like that, Aquarius. Seven of Cups just means they're a little confused because they feel like they don't have all the information. And in my opinion, they don't have all the information because you guys are not communicating. And I don't feel like they're handling this well, and they're probably being really irresponsible. Because the Seven of Ghosts is the Seven of Cups. 5 out of the 7 cups are very positive. I always say this. I like this card. I like it. One of the cups is higher consciousness. One is you're guided by spirit. One is wisdom. One is ultimate utopia. And one is resources, having the resources you need. And then there are 2 cups, one with a baby dragon, one with the skull. Normally that's how the 7 of Cups card is, right? And those last 2 cups, it's not necessarily that they're bad. They're just not full, right? They're not full. So it's like not all the information is there. And that was making them, I feel like, very uncomfortable. Let's pull a couple more. Yeah, I mean, and they have this they have the Three of Wands with you. The Three of Imps is they have the Three of Wands with you. They want this new beginning with you, but they feel like they don't have all the information. It's making them highly uncomfortable. Aquarius. Oh my gosh. All right. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's rather impatient, okay? Because, yeah, they don't have all the information. They want this new beginning with you because the three of Wands is about, oh, let's look across the ocean and look into the horizon and, you know, create our foundation together where there's a will. Wands or Imps are will to move forward, right? And then we have the Three of Ghosts upright, which is about celebration. You get the threes is about building. It's the Trinity. I really like this. But they're getting impatient and they're acting kind of stupid while they're impatient. Give me some information on this Death card, please. This outcome for the Death card. Outcome for the Death card, please. Outcome for the Death card, please. Some information. Judgment. Yep. Good. Good. Yes. All right, good. All right, so we have Judgment. All right. So this is the deal with Judgment, though. Sorry about my leg there. I'm trying to get comfortable. So the Judgment card is all about really looking at everything up to this point and really assessing how, you know, they have been doing things up to this point. And they actually think that they've been doing things on the up and up. And this is the thing. They genuinely believe it. They genuinely do. They don't see where they went wrong. They don't see it. And when we have the Page of Bats, this is the Page of Swords. So this is somebody coming in with some ideas and a new way to frame reality. Okay? This is them coming in with some suggestions, some solutions. Okay? And then we have the Page of Wands reverse at the same time. So the Page of Wands reverse just indicates to me some delay. That's all. And that's okay. Because you have to have the conversations. Because then look what you have. The King of Ghosts. King of Ghosts is the King of Cups. The King of Cups knows what commitment is supposed to be like, what it's supposed to look like, and what's necessary to make it happen. And this is what I'm getting ultimately is on the other side of this cycle ending that you guys are going through. Now listen, guys, a cycle ending doesn't have to be even that dramatic beyond a wicked fight and a meeting of the minds. Is sometimes we have to just gurge out everything onto the table in order to look at it, right? Arguing is normal, it's healthy, because sometimes it's the only way to clear the decks, you know, to actually start fresh and in a healthier direction. And the energy definitely supports this. It just does. But it's not going to be very easy because right after that new moon we talked about, that next day on the 28th, we have Sun and Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus. That's all about restlessness and sleeplessness. You're going to feel a little anxious, but at the same time, what do we have? Sudden insights from out of nowhere are going to come, and all of a sudden, things are going to make sense. And your path is going to shift. And I feel like a lot of insights are going to be coming from your partner. I just do. I really do. And then on the 30th, we have Mercury and Scorpio conjunct Venus and Scorpio. I love that. Big money and love news comes in on that day. The energy really supports that. Very important discussion's going to happen regarding relationships and finances, right? Definitely this is like a breakthrough energy towards the end of this time. And then, of course, on the 31st, we have Mercury in retrograde at 27 degrees of Scorpio, and then back to 11 degrees of Scorpio. Crazy, right? But this is where I love Mercury retrograde. I have so much Mercury in my chart. I'm kind of like the poster child for Mercury, you know, communication issues of all kinds, you know. But what I really love about Mercury retrograde is, And I've been saying this to a couple of signs. It gives us an opportunity to press the pause button in a way in relationships or in areas of our life where we really need to evaluate and assess and maybe really address some things, you know? Have those conversations, see what's working and see what's not working, you know? And, you know, because many of us have been going through this period of like really like false starts. I mentioned it earlier in the video, but many of us have been going through that since last fall. You know, where it's like we try this and then we're in it for a bit and it's just like not working, and that doesn't feel, and this doesn't feel right, and that does, and then we're in this but it's not lasting, and then, you know, it's like, you know, like Cinderella, right? Like trying on all those shoes but nothing's really fitting, but yet you're identifying things that you want and you feel like you're getting closer. So you know what I mean? So it's this like restlessness. But I feel like if you are with a person, quite frankly, if when you're listening to this video, you guys are still together at this point, if you're in a relationship, congratulations, because a lot of relationships ended within the past few weeks, big time. It came up to a point where it's just like, no, this isn't working anymore. We all felt the weirdness, you know, in our relationships, right? Things be, especially those of us who have been in relationships for a long time. You're feeling the weirdness. That being said, though, that means you made it through, right? You made it through. So if you're with somebody who you know is of real value in your life, and things are a little like left of center right now, be very patient and have these conversations. Let the energy come before you start screaming at your phone or your computer and you're like, this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, before you start yelling at me, let this time period come, let this energy hit, okay? And see what ends up happening, because I feel like a lot of good stuff is going to be on the other side of this for you, Aquarius. I really do. This is like a great reading, I think, for you. Yeah. But communication is very key, and so is patience, flexibility, and empathy during this time, Aquarius, okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, Aquarius, you guys take care. Bye-bye.